I appreciate everybody who subscribed to my YouTube channel and supporting my show, One on One with the Men. And so the basis of my show is to bring some more light to the incarcerated individuals. Since being home, I noticed it to be a trend of incarcerated individuals coming home after doing a significant amount of time and really finding some motion for themselves and coming home with a whole different mentality, right? And as you know, your favorite trainer would say, these niggas out here manning up. So much so that they passing dudes who've been out here for years, right? So I want this to be a platform where they can let people know why and how they develop this mentality. Not only that, but we are also discussing everyday topics. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about everything from women to relationships to money to fitness, you name it. We on it, man. We just gonna have a good time, all positive energy and positive vibes, right? So for many of you who grew up with me, y'all know me as my man. And for those of y'all who probably met me out the feds, y'all probably know me as Face. But hold up, I'm gonna get this understood, right? I ain't never been ducking nobody, or I never been ducking nothing, right? Because you got niggas who come into prison and they be having like 5 different names and all that, you know what I'm saying? One day this nigga name might be Bloodbath, and then the next day this nigga talking about his name Nebuchadnezzar, and on Chicken Day this nigga named Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I wasn't one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a stand-up man. I got my name Face when I was over to jail, messing with some good men, and it stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm born and raised in PG County, Maurania. Shout out to my hood, 31. You know what I'm saying? And just like anybody else from the hood or from the struggle, man, I was a problem child. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nothing on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I was out there doing anything. And so my actions as a youth caused me to get a 20-year sentence, right? And out of that 20 years, I only did 13. You know what I'm saying? All praises to Allah. I just came home 7 years early. I only had to do 13 years. And so now I'm free, right? And so now I'm out here trying to find my own motions, trying to find my own lane. And this is, you know what I'm saying, what inspired me to produce a YouTube channel, right? Because everybody that came home, man, I seen them trying to find their own lane. I seen them being ambitious. And so, man, I want to promote that, you know what I'm saying, for the good men. And, coming in with that amount of time, right, I was young. And I looked at it as like I had my whole life snatched away from me. Even though when I went into prison, dudes really had their whole life snatched away from me. But when you come in that young and have a young mentality, you know what I'm saying, you look at that amount of time and you think it's a lifetime, right? So I wasn't really prepared for what was in front of me, you know. I was charged as an adult, and therefore I was sent over to DC jail's juvenile block. And since me and my co-defendants had a high-profile case, when we first came in for our first 4 months, they had us on 23-1, right? And if don't nobody know what 23-1 is, that's when you spend 23 hours in a cell and you get 1 hour of recreation time, right? And not only was we getting 1 hour of recreation time for 4 months, our recreation time was in a time space of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning, right? So that means we had to come out at 1 a.m. or between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. to be able to get on the phone and talk to our peoples, to be able to take a shower, to be able to get some hot water, to be able to do what we had to do over that jump. And anybody who got any type of common sense know that who getting up at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning to answer your phone. So we was on lockdown and we was unable to really get in contact with our people. So we was really going through it over that jump, right? And I ain't gonna hold you, right? That was probably like the most stressfulest top 5 moments of doing time out of all my 13 years. Because that was my first time in prison, right? And I had to go through that and I had to experience it. So I wasn't already mentally prepared for prison. And then I had this thrown on top of that. And it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It messed my mentality up, right? And the thing is, right, they tried to tell us that this situation was a court order situation, right? And they was welling. This was a jail order situation. And the jail ordered this because me and my co-defendants had a high profile case. And they felt like if they was to let us out in general population, that we would clash and collide with all the other juveniles over there, right? And so we spent 4 months on that, right? And then eventually, right, they had to let us out because anybody knows that that is inhumane. And not only is it inhumane to grown men, but yet alone to young juvenile boys. So after them 4 months, we came out, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna hold you. Coming off of that 23-1 like that, it felt like I was being released from prison. Like anybody who knows or anybody who been in a hole or been on lockdown for 23-1 for a significant amount of time know that feeling. Like when you come out, it feel like you just went home. Like it feel like you just got released, right? You go up in that joint healthy, you know what I'm saying? Weight on you, looking good, but you come out 20 pounds lighter, head full of hair. You start twisting your shit up. Whole time you know you thin it. Your shit going bald up top and you talking about you growing dreads. Nah, nigga was in that joint biting. And that's how stressful that shit be. That's how much it play on your mental, right? And so like I had to deal with that, right? And that whole 23-1 situation is wild in its totality. And I feel like it should be illegal to even place somebody in that situation for longer than a week. And I know many people probably will agree with me, whoever been through it, right? And that stuff mess you up mentally. And I'm still feeling the effects of that, right? That lockdown, them 23-1s, because now I have grown so accustomed to being into isolation, right? I've grown so accustomed to being alone. And even if you got a celly, like that shit might make it worse because if you in a cell that long with a person, right, you gonna start hating everything they do, right? Your celly might cough, right? He might cough, and you might be down on the bottom bunk like, damn, this suck ass nigga just cough. He know I'm trying to sleep, and he ain't did nothing wrong. But that's how that shit mess with your mental, bruh. But all in all, though, right, I'm gonna say that my journey in prison has been one filled with endless hardship and endless struggles, right? And I could say a lot of people will agree with their experience in prison. Like plenty of hardships, plenty of struggles, plenty of ups and plenty of downs. Like that type of environment, you know what I'm saying, can really make or break you, right? If you're not prepared or if you haven't prepared yourself for what you're gonna face, because you're gonna lose loved ones in prison. You're gonna lose people. People gonna die while you in there. People gonna die while you in there. You know what I'm saying? People gonna disappear on you. The people who say they love you the most, they gonna disappear on you. They gonna leave you. They gonna make all them promises to you in the beginning, but at the end of the day, you gonna find yourself in there alone. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get hard. You ain't gonna have no money for commissary. You're gonna see people getting these big bags and all this stuff, and you ain't got nothing in your locker, right? That type of stuff can make you or break you because if your mind is not stable enough, or if you don't have the patience, or if you don't have the ability to adapt in your situation, well, you're going to go through a rough time in there. And I watch people go through so many rough times because they haven't been prepared or they didn't have the right tools or the right mindset to get them through what they was going through, right? And what I feel like helped me through my time was being Muslim, right? I feel like Islam was the most important thing for me to be able to get through my time because Islam helped me develop certain characteristics, right? And it helped me develop a certain mindset. So now when I go through something, I don't panic, right? When I go through something, I don't panic. I don't have anxiety, right? Because I know what I'm going through was already going to hit me. It was no ducking that. It was already written for me. So now instead of panicking and having anxiety, it's what I'm going to do to move past this situation. What I got to do to move past this situation. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm trying to figure out my next move instead of thinking about how it happened or why it happened or why me. You feel me? And you need that in prison because prison is so unexpected with twists and turns. My man used to say this junk was Hunger Games, right? Because at any moment, the environment changing. Like, that should be crazy. So I feel like Islam was the biggest thing that helped me through my time, right? And me wanting something better for myself, incorporated in that, helped me through my time. And the moment where I felt like I decided that I wanted to change and I wanted to do something different and I wanted to be something different was a moment where I was constantly going to the whole back to back to back to back. This is when I touched the feds. Like, I was going through the whole back to back to back. I'm talking about it was one time where I came out the hole from doing like 30 days. That same day I went back in the hole and did a whole another 30 days. And that was one of the moments where I sat back there in the hole and I said, damn, bro, I'm really doing anything, right? I'm doing anything because I'm not just harming myself by going to the hole. I'm not just losing my property, losing my commissary, losing my phone, losing my visits, but my family being affected by all that as well, right? They can't hear from me. They can't send me money. They can't come see me. They don't know what I'm doing or how I'm doing, right? And it was at that moment where I told myself, when I get back out that hole, I'm not going back in there, right? I said, I ain't going back. I can't go back. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't go back into that hole for like 7, 8 years after that. Real talk. Like, I ain't go back for 7 or 8 years, right? And another significant moment that made me want to change, right, was the moment where I fell ill, right? I had appendicitis back in 2020 that almost killed me. And a lot of people don't know this situation, right? I spent 30 days in the hospital. I spent like 11 days in ICU, right? Fighting for my life because I was damn near dead in a cell from appendicitis, right? And it was at that moment where I told myself, like, oh, I need to up it again. I need to make some more changes, within myself, within my religion, within my attitude, within the people I'm dealing with. I need to change again. I need to hit another level, right? And it was at that moment where I changed. And man, when I say I made a big transition, man, I was so proud of myself from where I was at, especially religiously and Islamically, to where I got, you know what I'm saying, because of that situation. And because of those situations, this is why I'm here now, because I decided to change, because I got out on early release for the simple fact that one of my conditions of being released early was I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get into nothing. And so if I didn't go through them things, I might have still been the same person with the same mentality. And guess what? This opportunity, this blessing that came my way, right, would have got shot down. So therefore, those things really impacted my life. And those were the moments where I really decided that I wanted to change. And prison shapes a lot of people's character, right? And I feel like prison shaped my character in a way that I have gained a high set of manners and a high set of respect level for individuals, right? Because good manners could save your life in prison. Ask anybody who's been locked up. The word excuse me can save your life in prison. I promise you. I done seen it. I done heard about it. I done witnessed it. Having respect for another man can save your life in prison, right? And this is real talk. You could walk past a person, brush a person on these streets and not say anything. Do it in prison, man. You might not make it out of there. or you might be going to that hospital. You feel me? And this is real talk. I ain't trying to amp nothing up. I ain't trying to size nothing up. Ask the good man who been locked up. So now prison shaped me to have good manners. And I still have them to this day. Like when I walk past a man, I might not even know him or nothing. But I'm, hey, excuse me, bro. My bad, bro. Pardon me, bro. Can I get past you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that I've developed, and these are positive things, right? And I'm not going to sit here and say that prison shaped me with all positive characteristics, because some of the characteristics that prison gave me, right, when I brought them onto the street, they not really positive toward everybody else. Because in prison, you can't be vulnerable, right? In prison, you can't be too attached. In prison, man, it ain't too much love showing. You know what I'm saying? In prison, man, you can't talk a lot. You can't speak about your feelings a lot. These things are weaknesses, right? And not doing those things was a defense for me, and it was a way for me to get through the hardest time of my life. So now that when I transition to being free, people don't understand me, or people don't understand why I am the way I am, because now I'm telling them, like, I'm not vulnerable. I don't allow myself to be vulnerable. I don't allow myself to be too open. I don't allow myself to be attached. Because when you seen after 13 years, so many people walk away from you. When you lose so many people you love, that shit make you numb. And it becomes a way for you to defend yourself from going and feeling a certain type of way, right? And like I said, I was in prison, so I had to develop these characteristics as a young boy into a man. So they gonna stick with me, right? Even though I know that I need to get rid of these characteristics, but that other part of me, like, hey, bro, this will help you get through your hardest times. Why would you get that up? So now I'm fighting a battle with myself on trying to grow and outgrow certain characteristics that prison shaped me with, right? And now my life outside of prison, like, that's one of my struggles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with people like that is one of my struggles. A lot of people don't understand it. But now me being free, you know what I'm saying? I'm on all positivity as much as I can be. I'm on all positivity mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is. And whoever is, you know what I'm saying, pouring out that same energy, I'm trying to surround myself with them, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? Now me being free and coming through the hardship of prison, like, I don't care about working a job. A lot of these niggas out here don't want to work no job, man. I was working in there for 5 cents an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna work a job. I'm gonna work 2 jobs. I'm gonna work 3 jobs, and I'm not tripping. I'm gonna get up 4 o'clock in the morning, because guess what? I was doing it in prison, so it's not a hardship for me, right? And this is why I'm so ambitious, and this is why I'm so driven, and I'm so focused, and I'm trying to find a path, and I'm trying to find my motion, just like every other person who came home from prison, because I'm pretty sure they got the same mentality as me, right? Or at least something similar to it, right? So before we close out, I got some questions that were sent to me through my DM, and I'm gonna just pick a few of them and answer them, right? And we have one right here. Do you regret going to prison? I'm gonna say I regret my actions that led me to prison, but I don't regret the experience of prison, because I feel like the experience is what made me who I am today. And I feel like without that experience, you know, I don't know where I would be at. I don't know what type of mindset I would have. I don't know how my thought process would be. So again, I regret my actions that led me there, but I don't regret the experience in its totality. We have did you have a girl that held you down the whole time in prison? The only person who held me down my whole 13 years was my grandfather. no female held me down my whole time in prison. You know, many came and gone. I had some good friends. I had some good people, female friends who were there at first in the beginning, but over the course of them years, man, phone phone calls stopped getting answered. You know, pictures stopped getting sent, visits stopped happening, and you know, man, that's what happened, man. Like a lot of the time, man, you be in there, man, and these people they'll make these promises to you, and they don't really understand what they promise it to you. They don't really understand, you know what I'm saying, what's ahead of them and what it takes to really hold somebody down in prison. You know, and some people, you know, I just gotta let it be what it is. Like I understand them. Like I don't agree with your decision. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you say that you're a person who love a person, or you say that you're a person who gonna ride for a person. Like, well, this is your time to show that. And a lot of people don't know what that means. And so I don't agree with the decisions they made, but hey, everybody make decisions, and you know what I'm saying? All you do is expose yourself, and you know what I'm saying? You let a person know like what you really on and who you really are through those type of actions. All right, I'm gonna answer this last question, right? It says, would you ever do something to send you back to prison? I would never do anything to jeopardize my freedom unless it's a situation where it calls for necessity. Unless I'm put in a situation of life or death with me or somebody I love, I don't plan on going back to prison. I don't plan on doing anything that will put me back in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what it is. If I gotta be broke, then I'm gonna be broke. If I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, work 4 jobs so I won't be broke, I'm gonna do that. Like, nothing out here will make me go back into them prison walls except me protecting myself or my family. So just to close out right, if you subscribe and tuned into my YouTube channel, I appreciate you showing love, right? Please tell your friend and tell a friend, subscribe, and listening to these stories, listening to these interviews. This is just the introduction. I got a lot more guests coming. I got a lot good men who's going to be on the show, who's going to tell their story, who's going to let you know what's up. And we're going to have good discussions about good topics. It's going to be a wonderful time, man. So just tune in, join in, and tell your friend and tell a friend, man. Support, man. I appreciate y'all.